Yeah, of course. Thank you, Ron. It's my pleasure to be here. So, my name is Andrew Scott. I am one of our AI services leads here at Google Cloud. So, really, what I focus on is custom AI implementations. So, everything that doesn't work out of the box, everything that's not necessarily dependent on a model itself, but the overall platform is really what I focus on. This ranges across industries from retail to pharmaceuticals to financial services, and we really focus on what's most important now and what will be most important later because we need to future proof the technology to give to our key customers.
So I think that raises an important question. A lot of Angelbeat attendees ask me, well, should I just run Anthropic in the cloud, Llama in the cloud, run it separately? One of the advantages of using Andrew and his team is not only do you get his and their expertise, you are also benefiting from all the compliance, performance, capabilities that are baked into the Google Cloud, as opposed to running it separately, where you might run the risk of hallucinations and deepfakes and data privacy breaches.
Yes, Ron, you're completely correct. And I think that's the true differentiator with our platform. We always like to say it is the most tightly integrated technology stack on the market today. Vertex itself, you can build evaluation pipelines that really help you know, is the data pipeline clean? Are there hallucinations? Why do they exist? And what are actions we can take to remediate? Obviously, your data is encrypted at rest. We have tons of models open. You can use your Claude Anthropic models. You can use DeepSeek if you want, right? You can use any model you want. We have like 130 plus models available on our model garden. So we really focus on the ecosystem. We are pro developer. We just like to push the platform over model because each model is different. One model is not going to be the solution for every use case, for every business unit, for every company. And so we always have the thought of customers' needs first in mind, and that's how we tend to operate.
So one of the good things with that approach, correct me if I'm wrong, when organizations want to deploy solutions, it's a little bit overwhelming. There are LLMs. I found it a couple of weeks ago. Now there are SLMs, small language models, not large language models. And then there are industry specific models. Then there are functional specific models for different corporate environments. It's really complicated. A lot of end users probably have a sense of FOMO. Well, I have to do this. And one of the advantages of working with the custom experts at Google is that you can look at different models. And once they understand your business, if you do decide to switch models, it's a lot smoother transition once you've built up some knowledge with Andrew and his team, where they can say, okay, let's say you want to switch from Llama to Vertex or whatever the case may be. They'll know how to readily apply all the data labeling, data naming, fine tuning that you've already done on one model and ensure that it could work fairly efficiently and quickly on another model.
Yeah, you're completely right. And the decision tree, if you will, comes usually throughout the engagement. You mentioned SLMs, which are really popular right now. Really, they're meant for complex individual tasks. That way you can really focus on, you don't need to understand everything the world has to offer, right? The biggest aspect of this is that cost is extremely low. And so that when you take an enterprise that has a lot of needs and they have a lot of models going, being able to lower that cost significantly and still get the same efficiency is a huge critical factor.
Now, one other thing, you mentioned DeepSeek before, which we're doing this in the beginning of 25, so this is all the rage. I'm sure when anyone watches this video in a few months, there's going to be a whole new set of models and questions and developments that come up that will overwhelm this. But this is what's top of mind today, the beginning of February. One of the things that is always challenging for organizations is controlling the data. One of the concerns that was reflected in all the discussions around TikTok was having a Chinese technology platform being widely used who controls the data. If an organization wants to use DeepSeek or any other platform, how does your group make sure that their data is protected and there is always controlled by the end user organization?
That's a great question, Ron. And really, as we say on our platform and on GCP as a whole, their data never leaves their tenant. It is always there. Whatever calls they do to external models is on them, but we will never play a part in exposing their data in that regard. As far as DeepSeek is concerned and Chinese applications themselves, obviously the level of risk is unknown to a lot of us, right? But there is a risk that is highlighted by the Fed and by the government. I believe that the aspect that people need to understand is competition is great for AI. Them having an innovative breakthrough is only going to spur more innovation. Them needing less computational resources and changing potential approaches to how we do model development is also only going to sequentially increase computational interest across the board. So when I see the market reacting to all major chip providers, I don't really think that that's fully warranted. I think there's concern and the concern is valid, but I think over the long haul that will be figured out because there's always going to be more computational needs. Regarding their numbers that they said, how many millions of dollars and $5 million they spent and how little time it took, I'm not a I don't know all the answers, right? But I'd say just from my own experience, that's probably not 100% correct.
Yeah.
It'd be very shocking if that was the case. But regardless, what they did was something special.
Yeah. And again, it shows the importance of creativity. And some final thoughts, and I'd like to get your thoughts on what might be some of the big things that organizations might expect out of Google in the future, is it shows the rapidly changing world, the dangers or risk of going full speed ahead on one particular platform. Maybe a friend said this is great. You want to be careful about these approaches to some degree. The world of AI, if you look at the endpoint computing market, it's a little bit like that in that there are Chromebooks that are closed systems, there are Macs that are largely closed systems, and then there are PCs that are all closed. Now, you may have some commonality running apps, but those are all distinct platforms, and that's a lot closer model to the world of AI today. If you look at x86 PC platforms, they're pretty much compatible. You can swap an HP with a Surface with a Dell, and they pretty much work the same. So when you look ahead, Andrew, I'm wondering, are there any big announcements potentially on the horizon? I know we don't want to get anything confidential, but I think it raises, or the DeepSeek raises the importance of how fast things are changing and why you want to make sure you not only attend Angelbeat events to get the right information, but then rely upon experts like Andrew and his team to help guide you through the process in an informed way. So what's your predictions for the big things in the future?
Yeah, so obviously we have a lot. We have our big conference, Google Next, is in April. That's where we kind of unveil everything that we have in the works. That being said, last year in 2024 was the year for generative AI. Many have claimed that 2025 is the year for agentic AI, which I believe 100%. I'm seeing it across industries. The Fortune 100 are investing heavily in this, and really what this is the AI is now not only able to summarize, give outputs, give recommendations, it's able to execute tasks. So let's say instead of show me my flight to Hawaii, now it's going to have your credit card information saved. It's going to be able to purchase those flights and execute getting your ticket. And now think about your business, right? Every business unit has tasks, workflows, automation. But now moving forward, we're going to be able to execute on those tasks fully autonomously while also still having those evaluation pipelines and saying, okay, why did it give me that answer? How do I fix that? Why did it do that task? How do I fix that? So then it's just going to make everything a well-refined machine and obviously increasing operational efficiency significantly.
Andrew will now discuss several innovative platforms such as CCAI, which is Google's cloud-based, AI-powered contact center solution.
CCI and Dialogflow, which are very similar, have been massive breakthroughs in the contact center space and any type of customer service function where they have a heavy usage for topics needed to cover. So that could be a back of a warehouse for a Walmart or a Target, right? Or it could be for a telco company like T-Mobile or AT&T, right? So that has been a huge factor. However, on that note, being that this is the year of agentic AI, we have recently released Agent Space, which is the first of its kind platform for building and customizing agents for your organization. So this is where you can, it's more like a SaaS platform. So that's why it's not a typical cloud solution, which makes it really unique. You configure it and you connect your Salesforce data or data source, your SharePoint data source, wherever data source, SAP, right? And then you can go and customize agents for your business unit with one unified UI. So that is the future that we are pushing forward today. It'll be able to still integrate with whatever agents or models that you build in Agent Builder or Vertex, but it's going to be able to expand the usage to external data sources. And I think it's really going to pave the way for the industry. And I can't wait for what we show you at Google Next in April.